much for joining me for this Get Ready With Me featuring limited edition makeup by Chantecaille, Guerlain. And as you know, with limited edition, that means that once it's gone, it's gone. But there is one item here that I hope they bring back permanently because it is that good. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead with this Superfood Glow Priming Moisturizer by ELEMIS. And I remember trying this, gosh, maybe a month ago now, and I really liked it, but I haven't had a chance to get back to it. I like the way that it just gives the loveliest, gentlest glow. It is moisturizing, and I've said it before, but changing seasons ends up drying out my skin for some reason, so I need a little extra moisture. Using my Shiseido brush here. Okay, kind of just buffing that in with my Shiseido brush. This is a multitasking kind of brush for me. I think there's something interacting here. So if there's ever anything that balls up, then this does a really good job of just wiping that away really gently without messing up everything. Another reason to love this brush. Okay, yeah, there was interacting with something I had on my skin. I can't remember what. I put on a lot of other things today just because it's been so dry. Yeah, so I definitely did not need that much primer. That was too much. Probably needed like a third of what I had on my hand. So a little goes a long way. We're gonna go in though with the Chantecaille Sheer Glow Rose Face Tint just under the eyes because I already put that glow everywhere else, but not under the eye. This is nice and hydrating, especially under the eye area. And again, too much. I must think my face feels more dehydrated than normal. Trying to add all these glowy things, just a gentle glow, because I do want to see the powder on my face, and I don't think this is really going to interfere with that. And I'll do a side by side too, so you can really see the difference. I'm going to go in with a Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer. Someone asked me why I love this so much. It's because it's one of the most natural looking finishes with a little bit more coverage. And this is, let's see, I have two shades here, Glow and Tan. So I put on too much here, but this is Tan and this is Glow. So you can see the difference there. I use my Shiseido brush. I'm gonna go in with just Tan on my forehead. A little bit more, just to even that out. By the way, the Tinted Moisturizer is by Chantecaille. It has SPF 15, but I need more protection than that. I'm gonna go ahead and conceal. It's not gonna be any different than my other routine. I'll tell you what it is when I come back, but let me just do that really fast. I went in with this CdP Concealer in Mocha right here on my dark spots, broken capillaries, and the corners. I also used the eye base by Chantecaille. This is in medium. Then for under the eye, this is Chanel's Complexion Touch in B30, as well as the La Prairie in 4, just targeted. Also, I used the Chanel Duo for my brows for the powder, and then the Dior Gel, for the eyebrows as well. I thought we could try the BK Beauty bronzer. Now, I didn't say that this was for cream bronzer in particular, but I thought we would try it. Synthetic, so it should be fine. We're gonna use the number 392 by Chanel. But yeah, it's a nice healthy looking glow. I really like it for these cooler months. So the bristles are not super dense on this, so you're gonna get a nice lightweight kind of bronzing effect. Thought we'd try it though. These are really soft brushes. With this particular brush, it's more of like an airbrushed bronzer feel. Very well blended right away. Very curious about the glow powder, so we're gonna try that. And I wanna try it next to the Perfect Blur powder. I know it's already going to look different just because of the way it's swatched, but let's just see. And I looked at directions, it said just to use the Buff and Blur brush to apply it. It didn't say to apply it over a setting powder or on its own. So I feel like you can use this however you like, but we're gonna go directly on the skin just to see how it looks. So just been swirling my brush around in there, and well, that is lovely. Okay, it kind of reminds me of the Charlotte Tilbury powder, but with a little bit more color. That Charlotte Tilbury powder is really white, but this one actually might be better for me, more medium skin tone, because the other ones I mean, I really like it. I keep putting this on. I have recommended that over and over again. This one though, if you're looking for something that's not white as apparent, then this one's more subtle, but it does the same effect. Now this though might be a little bit more blurring on the surface because I added quite a bit and it didn't emphasize any texture. Ooh, this is pretty. Okay, Chantecaille is gonna have to add this to their permanent collection because it is also beautiful. So for those who, well, let me put on the Perfect Blur Powder and then I'm gonna talk about the difference. Then we'll actually look at these layered as well. Ooh, I love a good powder. I really do. Not surprised, I love this right away. So this is the Perfect Blur Powder. And we're gonna see here in a moment. Okay, let me just do this on my forehead too. This is my go-to. I love to mattify the center. I love to perfect both the texture and the appearance of dark spots, so a more even complexion, but it mattifies, and I love that. But if you want some glow, because this is what I'm gonna say about this powder. Let me just add some to my forehead of the glow powder, and I'm gonna have to get back above this. Yay, I love this so much already. So here is the difference. Lotus Perfect Blur Glow Powder. I hope that they do add this to their permanent collection. Hoping. You can see there are distinct characteristics with both of the powders, and they are different. They are different enough that they are definitely not the same product. This again is a Perfect Blur Powder. Let me put a picture so we don't get confused. And it adds a little bit of color. I know some of you have been asking for a blur powder that doesn't have as much color to it. This one that I have is in light medium, and there's nothing lighter than this. There's a richer tone to this, but nothing lighter. And then this one is lighter. So I think you can see that, but part of that is because of the reflective quality. So if you always wanted to try this and you always wanted something a little bit lighter or with some glow, this is beautiful. So I think this is what Chantecaille is gonna have to do. I think we're all gonna love this product. It would be nice if they came out with this in different shades too. I think that would be beautiful. But let me know if you're a different tone, if you're lighter or more rich in your skin tone. Let us know what your experience is with this. We would love to know. But for medium skin tone, perfect. Perfect, perfect. I love it. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to add this to the top. So let's see what that looks like. We're gonna see a nice comparison. And we'll see what it does. Does it build texture, anything like that? Or will we get the same effect? Ooh, I kind of like them, of course, together because I get a little bit more evening out of the skin tone. First of all, I get a little bit more perfecting of the texture. And then this just adds a very subtle glow, more subtle than this. What a lovely product. I'm not surprised. They don't release a whole lot of products, especially at once, and what they release is really good. So a winner. Okay, let's keep going because I could talk about this powder probably forever. Let's go in with this eye by Guerlain. And this is the one I picked up from the Sephora sale. Now, it had more intermittent shimmer than I had wanted in these two shades here after I swatched it, but let's go in with that all over the lid. So I'm gonna take a rougher brush here. Let's take the number 2 brush. It's really great for adding color. Oh, very dense here. So now I'm afraid that's too much. Let's see. Okay, not too much, it's fine. So that's a pretty neutral shade. Now we're gonna encounter an issue, not an issue, but I already see what we're gonna do here. Based on the fact that this is pretty light, I'm gonna have an issue with the crease color. Not sure what we're gonna do here for that. Let's go in with this darkest shade here. It's very deep. Because right now we're just going to have 2 shades. So you already know what I'm going to do here after I add this. Ooh, wow. Yeah, I thought maybe this could be a crease shade, but now I'm not sure because it's so sparkly. Or do we not do a crease? Okay, this is gonna be more challenging than I thought it was gonna be. Let's take this shade and see what happens. I'm gonna use that course. Oh, it's really pretty though. Let's go in between. I have to take just a clean brush and let me just do this for now to blend. Actually, let me take a little bit of this and I'm just gonna blend that in the crease. So I think that's all we've got. So they're only choices at this point. Okay, and then let's go in with this one right in the center. Well, that's very holiday. Sparkly for sure. Okay, let me do the same, yeah. Let's do the same thing to the other side, blend. Okay, this is like one of those things that doesn't look like it can be safe, but it can. We're gonna add eyeliner and some mascara, and then let's see where we are. I'm gonna tight line with the Esem liner, do a little wing, go in the waterline with Platinum on the other side, and probably take a little bit of the dark shadow underneath. Let's see how it goes. Let's use that little BK Beauty. Well, let's use a couple of these little ones. So this is the number 204. Use that to smudge. There's another brush too. Where is it? This one, the number 208. I like that this one is really small. Okay, let's add some of the Platinum. And then some mascara. Back with mascara, eyeliner, and this is not maybe the easiest palette I've ever used, but I think the colors are pretty. I'll talk more about it at the end, but I think it's gonna go well with the cheek color. Taking this shade, and let me find a brush that's not super dense, because I'm not sure how this is going to go on quite yet. Okay, let's take the 104 brush. It's tapered and the bristles are not super dense, so it shouldn't pick up that much. So we're going in with the powder now, not the powder, the blush, and this color looks beautiful. It's a little bit muted, and it reminded me of a Chanel blush, so I might take that out at the end just to see the difference. Okay, so it's building very slowly. Probably could have used a more dense brush. Oh, it has like a highlighter built in. This is not the highlighter, it says Radiant Blush. This is more radiant than like the Flower Power blush. Wow, Flower Power blush. This is more like a, got built-in highlighter. Do you see that? Oh my, that is very glowy. So this is more glow than color. That's so interesting. So I might use this more as a topper than the blush itself because it's not adding that much color on me. Let's do this. I haven't tried it yet, and I think this will work well with it. Let's go in with the Valentino blush. So they kind of look like each other, don't they? So actually, this doesn't remind me of that Chanel blush because it's not adding pigment. So these two, oops, I just took a chunk out of it. These two look like they might work together. So let's go in with this Valentino. This is the Valentino number 4. I'm gonna add that for some color just because I feel like you couldn't really see that, but there is a very glowy glow on this blush. That is not what I expected. So interesting, till you put something on, sometimes you just don't know. Wow, very glowing, very glowy. So it's like a bit of a departure for Chantecaille to have such a glowy blush. So you can see there, I'm gonna smile. I mean, it's like it's a metallic finish. Oh, I like this brush too. It's very like airbrushed looking. That's what I'm getting from these BK brushes, that there's like a airbrushed quality to the makeup with the ones at least that I've used. Okay, ooh, wow, so glowy. This is definitely a look that some people love. Let's just add a little bit of the Perfect Blur, just a little bit, because I do like the glow, I'm just not used to it. So let's just take it down slightly, just slightly, just in the front. I think that's better, because then you can see the glow more towards the sides. Oh, I kind of went up high with that blush, didn't I? Not paying attention. Let's see, let's go ahead and add the highlighter. Gosh, I feel like I don't need a highlighter now. This one here is a Lotus highlighter. It's So this seems like we're all about the glow this time with Chantecaille. Okay, using the BK Beauty 108. It's supposed to be good for highlighter. So I'm gonna take the highlighter, and I don't know if it's gonna be harder to see because I'm already so glowy. There it is. Ooh, pretty. You can see it's got more of that, like, there's like a pinkish lavender tone in there. Gosh, I wonder if the blush even has more of a glow. Pretty though. Okay, let's just go down the nose really fast. Okay, let's try now the lip product. So this is the one that my husband's like, you're not a sparkly lip person. And I said, yeah, I know, but let's try this and see how it looks all by itself. Okay, it's definitely sparkly, and I would not wear this by itself. So let me put another color on, but I wanted you to see what it looks like. Let me put a lip on underneath. What can I put on here? Okay, I went and, oh, big hair over here. I went in the mirror, and it's not nearly as glowy in regular lights, but the studio lights are maximizing the glow here. So it's not super glowy in real person, but it looks like J-Lo. I think it's got that J-Lo glow about it, which I love. I love her. But this is the lip veil in Rock Rose that I love so much, and I haven't used it in so long. So many of you have this one as well. So we're gonna put this on and then the lip crystal on top, and let's see how that goes. Yeah, the lip crystal by itself though, I couldn't really see it. Oh, it's actually, there's still some remnants of it here. This is one that definitely works with this eye. It's so pretty. I love Rock Rose. Okay, let's put on the lip crystal on top. So let's see if this works on top of like a bold color to make it more festive. And for me, this is definitely more of a festive kind of lipstick. And I'm gonna go in the center. So I just went in with the lightest layer of it. So I think it makes it more holiday because I don't love glittery lips. So I know there was a video where we talked about glittery lips, kind of aging lips, because it can emphasize lines. So what's different about this lip crystal is that it's more intermittent versus a very metallic lip, in that you would see every single line there was in lips. This one is more dispersed. So you don't get that really emphasized line look. This is more of like a sprinkling of intermittent shimmer. That's actually quite festive. This is not something I would wear every day, but if you want something festive, or if you like this kind of thing every day, it's a pretty one. It's very subtle, so it'll work with a lot of different lip shades because it's not going to compete with the lip shade. It's kind of like a topper on me for this one, but I definitely wouldn't wear it alone because you couldn't even see it. But I would wear it with a color like Rock Rose. Because I'm wearing Rock Rose, there's a bit of a rose kind of hue about everything. We're gonna go with Derby Rose, one of my favorite fragrances by Chantecaille. Such a pretty floral, nothing heavy or too sweet about this, because those are two things I don't love in fragrance. It's got more of the essence of a rose element, a fresh rose, like a garden rose more than anything else. It doesn't smell like that synthetic kind of rose that sometimes you can get. So I love this one by Chantecaille. Starting with the eyeshadow. This is nice, but you have to kind of know how to maneuver this. This wouldn't be my first palette I would buy. It doesn't have a crease shade. You have to be okay with more of this contrast here. These two shades, they were lovely. The black actually blended quite nicely, but you also have to like a little bit of shimmer. So this is more festive, but I think it went well with this look, but it's definitely not like a standard palette or like a go-to palette. It's more of a fun kind of sophisticated holiday look. That's how I would categorize it. It's sophisticated yet still holiday. So I like that. Oh, I had a request for sophisticated makeup. So I think I'm gonna do that one in the near future. That's on my list of things to do. Okay, and then let's talk about this powder. So this is the Lotus Perfect Blur start over. This is the Chantecaille Lotus Perfect Blur Glow Powder. As you know, I love the Perfect Blur powder. I use it every single day, whether I'm filming or not filming. It perfects not only the appearance of my skin in terms of evening out skin tone, but it also perfects the surface of my skin, so it also looks smoother. And I know for many of you, like I said, that's too much color because I'm medium toned. It adds a little bit of color for me, but it's perfect. But for those of you who want something a little bit lighter and more of a glow, this is perfect. So it does the same things as a Perfect Blur powder, but it's lighter and it has a glow about it. So it does even out skin tone. It evens out the texture of the skin. It just looks more perfected. It really is beautiful. I think I would wear it in tandem with the Perfect Blur powder. So for me, the ideal use for this is to go in with the Perfect Blur powder first and then go over it with the the Lotus Perfect Blur Glow Powder, because it provides a little bit of that lifting effect when it comes to bone structure. It just highlights bone structure without being a highlighter. It's not glittery or overly glowy. It just has the most subtle glow. It just brings about that bone structure without emphasizing texture, which is the perfect combination. I really hope Chantecaille adds this to their permanent collection. So let them know that you love it if you love it, because that's how this powder, that's how this came back as a permanent item. This was limited edition to begin with, and I was stocking up because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to get my hands on it, but they brought it back as a permanent item because they heard from all of us how much we loved it, and it is one of their best sellers. So if we let them know how much we love this, maybe we can make this come back as a permanent item, just like we did with this one. Okay, let's talk about the blush. The blush surprised me because I thought we were gonna get a lot of color here, but we didn't. I got more of a glow. It almost was like a highlighter. If you want something that's a very light, but also very glowy, like that JLo glow is really what I think I got here, then this is for you. It's different than any other blush that I have. I'll probably use it as a topper more than anything else because of that glow. This was beautiful 04. I thought they actually went quite well together. I would probably layer these two, although the blush, the Chantecaille blush, probably could go with anything because it's so light in its pigment, but I really liked it with this. So either going over the Chantecaille blush with a blush or using it as a topper, I think works either way. In this instance, I had it underneath the blush and it worked beautifully. It kind of diffused this blush at the same time as well. The highlighter was pretty. There was more of a powderiness about the highlighter. Yeah, there was more of a powderiness about the highlighter versus the blush. The blush looks like it has more of a glow. And then as for the lip crystal, I think this is going to be specific to your taste in your lipstick, but if you wanted to add a little bit more whimsical holiday, this would be it without emphasizing those lines. So if you want something that's like a metallic kind of finish on it, but you don't like that it emphasizes lines, I would go with something on this. I would go with something like this because it does add a little bit of sparkle, but it doesn't make those lines emphasized and like really wrinkly looking, which metallic lipsticks can do. So this is a different kind of a product than a metallic lipstick. But that is it for today's look. It was so fun to try out all of this makeup. I did have the highest expectations for this when I saw that this was coming out, the Perfect Blur Glow Powder, and definitely met and exceeded my expectations of it, but my expectations are quite high when it comes to Chantecaille in the first place. But this is something I might have to buy a couple backups of if they don't bring it back as a permanent item. So maybe at least one just in case. But that is it for today's video. So please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.